Welcome back, and we are continuing with the previous program where we just defined a method that actually assign a letter grade. So if you look at the code, you'll notice that we have a method here called, let's see, let me scroll to the right here. So we have a public static char, which is it's returning a character, and it's taking in double, right? It's taking in double, a number, a real number, and it's going to assign a letter grade, and we are returning the grade. Okay. Now we can also create a method to compute the average. Now I'll let you do that. It shouldn't be too hard to do that. You can replace this with, well, let's go ahead and do that so you don't, it doesn't make it too hard for you here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this line here, same. So let's see. Control C, and I'm gonna come back here and do the second one. So here is public static. Now int, right? int average. Now it's not int actually, it's double because the average can be double, right? It's going to take, the way we have it, it's taking only int, right? So you can change that if you want to, and remember, you can make it so that it will take integers. So now what we're going to do, right? Of course, it's going to come back and say we're not returning anything. Must return something of double type. So what we're going to do, actually, we are taking int three numbers, right? Int number 2, right? Int number 3, right? So here we go. So we have int number 2, and I'm missing a comma here, and what did I do wrong here? Int okay, so it's saying it's not assigned, must return a value, which is okay. So I just formatted it a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to say, oh, let's call it average. I've missed that too. Average 2. Okay, so now it's better. So we're not returning anything yet. So average 2, right? So we're going to say average return, right? Average return, let's see, I'm trying to come up with something we can use, a variable, AVE, and we're going to compute AVE here, right? AVE float, right? AVE equal to, right? Number plus number 1 or number 2 plus number 3. Oh, number 3. Right, number 3 here, number 2 here. Okay, all of this divide by 3. Okay, number 2. Okay, and we're going to return AVE. Okay, and we should close this here. Now what we're going to come back, let's say, remember what you can do here. You can say average AVE, right? You can even say AVE, which is the name of the function, right? You can call the function with average 2 with 3 numbers, right? So you can call average 2 with 3 numbers, and what it will do, it will return the average of those 3 numbers. So if you come here, you would say average, right? We can come where we're computing the average. You can come here, right? And instead of computing the average right here, you could say average is equal to, right? Go up here. Remember what the function is, average 2 of score 1, just to show you how to use score 2, score 3, and with a semicolon here. Now what this will do, it will actually compute the average. Okay, the method takes type of method, change, let's see, I did something wrong here. Change to average 2. Oh, it is average 2. I think I called it average 2 or average. Let me come back here. Okay, that's my fault, and it should be called average 2. Okay, so here we go. So now this is actually calling the method with whatever value we read here, and it will call the method because this whole chapter is about method, and send those values into the method. So if you read a 90 will come here. The next one is an 89 will come here. This is an 87 will come here. It will compute AVE, and it will return AVE to the calling function. So down here, when we say average is equal to average of score 1, score 2, score 3, so AVE is going to be set to equal to average. Okay? I can even print that out for you if you want to. Or you can even call average. You could say print line, system dot out dot print line, right? And you can call it 78, 89, 90, right? And that will actually go in and print those for you, right? System, let's see, what are we missing here? Oh, I'm sorry, I need to call it, right? Average 2. Excuse me. And now, what it'll do, it'll print the average of these 3 numbers. So let's run it, just to show you. Okay, run. We got an error, so let's see what we did wrong here. Let's see, score 1, score 2, score 3, so it's going to go in there, right? Int, which is fine, right? Number, and number 3, and AVE is float, so that's okay. Let me debug with you here, and let's see what it says. So we have an issue with method. It doesn't tell me much here. Okay, so it's saying something is wrong here. This is not a float. This is an integer. 41, right? That method example 41, main. So it's saying we have an error. Oh, one missing parenthesis. As simple as that. Okay? I was calling the function and I didn't close the parentheses. Okay, we have another problem. So let's see, 27. Let's see, what do I have on 27 here? So I have, oh, too many parentheses. Okay, so make sure we did this right. Okay, this is right. So, okay. Right, so the method is here. We start here, we return here. Broken, delete the token. So we deleted it. Right, Okay. Not sure why it's giving me an error, but so public, static, double, average. So this is this. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, that's right. So I'm not sure why it's causing an error. Run. Apparently was not an error. Okay, Tom. Okay, 78, 78, 78. Okay, F, right? So which is okay. So our method is working, right? So we have a 70. Oh, this is that we didn't consider this one. Let me take it out. Right. Okay, so the rest should be fine. Okay, so now what we have done, we're already at 12 minutes. So we have computed the average, and now we have assigned the letter grade. Okay, let's double check. I took a line out, so let's make sure it runs fine. Jimmy, right? And the school, we're going to enter 56, 56, and 56, and that's F, right? The average is 56, and we would assign a letter grade F. So, the next step here is to actually start bringing the counters in. So, let me start bringing the counters in. So let me go to main here, down here, and start bringing some counters because we're going to start counting grades, right? We're going to start counting letter grades. If we have, let's, an A, we're going to increment the counter. So integer counter A, right? Let's set it to be 0. And I'm going to let you do the same thing for integer counter B, right? Initialize it to be 0. Integer counter C, initialize it to be 0. Integer counter D, initialize it to be 0. Integer, you can do all of this on one line. I'm not sure why I'm putting them on separate lines here. I guess it's habit. Okay, now all of these are counters, right? Every time we get an A, we're going to increment the counter A by 1. Okay, so let's come here. We're going to assign the letter grade. Right, so we come down here. Now what we're going to do, we're going to say if, right, if assign assign grade, right, of average, right? So remember, that's the average. Okay. Make sure we don't have a parenthesis missing. Is equal to a counter, right? The counter a plus plus. That's how we increment the counter, right? And close it. Okay. So I think I'm missing a parenthesis. Let's see. Make sure here. I have one too many here, and I need to put it here to get rid of that. Okay. So, and then you can do the same thing here with Control C here. You could do the same thing for Control V. Let's say B this time, counter B. Right, we're already at 16 minutes. So this is going to be B, right? And keep doing that. C. This is kind of a primitive way of doing this. There are much easier ways to do this. Okay. F. I'll show you in a second. F. And of course, let's see, the last one should be, oh, we already have F. A, B, C. We're missing a D. Okay, we're missing a D. Let me put the D here and counter D. And the last one is an F. Okay, F. Okay, so if, let's just do a print line. So system dot out dot print line. Okay, let me just not use a capital. And counter, let's say we'll try counter A. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that we enter the letter grade A, and we'll see if the counter is actually A. So, is 1. So, Tom, right, and we're going to do a 90, right, 90 and 90. We still get 0. Counter A, it did not increment. So we still have 0. Let's see, counter A plus plus. Make sure the letter grade is running right. So let's add another statement here. System dot out dot print line, right? And let's say we want assign grade of average. Okay, let's see what is printed. Assign, and that will tell us if our counter is calculating properly. So let's say, okay, John and 91 and 91. It's still a 0. May stop it for a second and we'll come back and fix it.